8 distribution days and the market's still trying to rally. Only one stock scored green on the drive today, and it might surprise you. This is Gainster.
This is your drive score update for August 3rd, 2026 US Eastern Time.
Market overview.
We're on day 3 of a rally attempt, but don't pop the champagne yet. 8 distribution days are still hanging overhead like storm clouds. Our drive distribution tells the story. Just one stock in the green zone scoring 80 or above, with 7 sitting in yellow territory. That's a market whispering caution, not screaming opportunity. Stock market today is about patience. Keep your watch list tight and your trigger fingers steady for a follow-through day.
If you want these drive score updates daily, hit subscribe and turn on that bell. Today's top news. Johnson & Johnson just discussed FDA authorization for their OTTAVA robotic surgical system. This is a big deal. JJ is making a serious push into the robotic surgery space, directly challenging Intuitive Surgical's dominance. If OTTAVA gains traction, it could reshape the competitive landscape and unlock a new revenue stream for J&J. Now, a yellow flag for our top pick. ACA is under investigation in a shareholder alert tied to merger activity. MA class action firms are sniffing around, which adds uncertainty. It doesn't kill the thesis, but it's something to watch closely. We'll factor this into our risk analysis shortly.
More on Johnson & Johnson. Market Beat reports that OTTAVA is positioned for long-term growth in robotic surgery. JJ isn't just dipping a toe in, they're diving headfirst. For J&J shareholders, this signals the company is betting big on surgical innovation as a future growth engine.
Stock spotlights. SPHR Sphere Entertainment is on fire today, up 5% with a drive score of 70 and a relative strength of 97, the highest RS on our entire list. It's carving a cup with handle pattern dipping from 137.30 down to 124.11. Before climbing back, the handle sits at 140.25. Watch for a breakout above $151. Entertainment stocks showing this kind of strength in a rally attempt to deserve your attention. Nucor, ticker NUE. The steel giant is flexing with a drive score of 70 and relative strength of 88. It's building a double bottom pattern. Think of it like a trampoline with 2 bounces. First bottom at 219.49 after hitting a high of 235.45. Second bottom at 214.61. The neckline trigger sits at 270.90. Steel stocks bouncing hard could signal industrial recovery ahead. SHC Sotera Health is a quiet mover in medical diagnostics and research. Drive score 70, RS 81. It carved a cup from 1715 down to a low of 1322, then built back to 1683 with a handle at 1539. The breakout level is 1683, and at 1799 today, it's already trading above that pivot. Small cap healthcare names breaking out early can be hidden gems. Amphenol ticker APH, the hardware and equipment powerhouse, scored a drive of 70 with relative strength. 78, this one carved a deep cup, diving from 167.04 all the way down to 118.01. That's a nearly 30% pullback. It's rebuilt to 167.24 with a handle at 155.36. The breakout target is 167.24 at 163.34. It's knocking on that door. American Healthcare, REIT, ticker AHR, brings healthcare real estate into our watch list. Drive score 70, RS 71. The cup formed from 54.67 down to 44.81. Rebuilding to 58.70 with a handle at 54.72. Breakout level is 58.70 at 55.12. Today, it still needs to close that gap. REITs showing strength during a rally attempt can be a defensive play worth watching. Johnson ticker J&J rounds out our spotlights with a drive score of 60 and RS 77. Despite the OTTAVA excitement, the chart tells a measured story. Cup from 251.71 down to 2037, rebuilt to 269.43, handle at 245.49. The breakout trigger is 269.43, but at 254.41. It's not there yet. Big Pharma moves slowly but deliberately. If this analysis is saving you research time, smash that like button. It helps more than you think. Today's top drive pick.
Our number 1 pick today is ACA.
The only green drive score on the board at 80 out of 100. This infrastructure operations company has built a textbook cup with handle. The cup carved from 135.58 down to 115.58, then climbed all the way back to 146.92. The handle pullback to 144.21 was shallow and controlled. Breakout level is 146.92. At 145.32 today, it's coiling right below the pivot like a compressed spring ready to launch. In a market with only one green score, the best stocks to buy now in August 2026 are the ones that earn their way to the top of the drive rankings.
Are you buying into this rally attempt or waiting for a follow-through day? Drop your strategy in the comments. Honorable mentions. Here's the rest of our watch list scrolling by 8 names total today, a lean list for a cautious market. Keep an eye on new core in steel and sphere entertainment with that monster RS of 97 when a follow-through day finally arrives. These are the names with coiled setups ready to move. Bookmark this list.
Here's what I'm thinking. Rally attempts are like auditions. Most don't make the cut, but the stocks that hold their patterns through the noise are telling you something. ACA is sitting just pennies below its pivot while the market figures itself out. That's conviction. Tomorrow watch whether we get closer to a follow-through day, and if ACA can punch through that 146.92 level, that's your Gainster drive score update. See you next session.